I can go first. It sounds like you might be more prepared than me. Not that that's surprising.
I'm a C, but you can BS your way through better.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So hello, everyone. This is Jennifer Shuffle with Summit Action Coach, and I am accompanied by
Diraj from down in Melbourne, Australia. Glad to be here.
As you guys can tell, he's maybe from the Down Under. So we are both an action coach. And for those who are listening and may not know, Action Coach is the #1 leading business coaching firm around the world, and we represent more than 80 different countries. So it is my privilege to be accompanied by Diraj. So Diraj, if you don't mind letting everyone know, why did you join Action Coach and what made you come to this journey?
Yeah, awesome. So I've been in business for quite a while now, and I've had quite a few startups, more failures than successes, to be honest. But the product and services that I wanted to provide to the community, to the world, was something that I was really passionate about. Like most people in business, I wanted to help business owners become a success, learn from other people's failures rather than make the same on their own as well. So why I've joined Action Coach is, well, to bring my experience and join a global organization to then help leverage the experience that's already there, the systems, the amazing community, to then be able to help my community grow their business as well.
So was there a particular pivotal moment that made you realize, you know what, I maybe should be acting or thinking a little bit differently in the way that I'm approaching things?
Well, work is smarter, not harder has always been my motto in life. So why recreate the wheel? So when I came across Action Coach, I actually came across Action Coach a couple of years ago when I was doing acquisitions, and I was just amazed with the knowledge, the practical systems for me to then apply even at that stage as well. So I think, when I met the team, I was sold.
That is awesome. I can't agree more with what you're saying. So if there were one or two things as word of advice to maybe some of those other business owners that are out there, since you currently own your business, not just Action Coach, what advice would you provide to others?
Get a coach. And you know, when I started, I guess, and your profession or as you get older, your risk profile lowers, right? So initially, I think that was kind of good for me because I just went in head first. I was like, this is my vision, this is what I want to build, and I just jumped into it. And I learned as I went, met the people, made the connections. I didn't know anything about sales and marketing, but I had to learn it. But having someone in my corner to say, Diraj, that's dumb. Right? To put it bluntly, here's a strategy that's been tried and tested over the last 30 years and globally. This is what I suggest. It would just save me so much headache, time, money. So whilst I do recommend, don't overanalyze, but at the same time learn before you earn. Have the right people in your corner to help you support and help you achieve your goals.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
So do you have questions for me, or I can keep going.
Is it my turn now? Usually I can't get a word in, Jen.
We can go back and forth. That completely works.
Well, I know you pretty well, right? We spent an amazing couple of weeks in Vegas doing training and meeting the Action Coach team, but for the community, for the wider community and our audience, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know who you are, where you're located. Take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you. So I am located in Cincinnati, Ohio, so I'm in the U.S. And I started to welcome this journey at the beginning of the year in 2022. Action Coach hit my radar in January, and I will honestly say I had a very pivotal moment last year as unfortunately I lost my brother, who was very near and dear to me. We were only 18 months apart. So growing up, we were best friends. And so having him at my side was very astronomical for me and very empowering. He was my biggest cheerleader and still continues to be so even to this day. After he passed, I quickly realized, wait a minute, that means I'm an only child now. So I started to think about, well, what else is maybe out there? And what should I maybe be searching for? Quickly, I started to think about my passions and what really serves my soul. I loved community and the community environment and really giving back to the community, but even more so in regards to economic vibrancy and the economic development in our region. So as I started to explore that, that's when Action Coach hit my radar. And I started to go through the due diligence process and realized the culture is astronomical. So even though I purchased a practice, and yes, I'm a solopreneur, I also realized I'm not on my own. I have people, for example, like you. I have other people up in Columbus, all around the globe, who help lift me up and empower me and hold me accountable to ensure that I'm right on the proper path to really launch the business in a very successful manner. And without that community within Action Coach, I can't even imagine where I would even be today. And giving back to the community, if we continue to lift up companies and businesses and help them achieve their goals, not just business, but also personally, that's going to lift our community and our environment, and the economic vibrancy is going to be full throttle, and it's really going to just launch from there. So realizing that, I was really sunk of, this is where I need to be. This is what I need to do. I have 20 plus years in corporate America within finance and accounting, you name it, I've done it within that realm. And so providing that experience to many and not just one seems like the right answer.
Awesome. I can't wait to come over and visit Cincinnati. Sounds and looks like an amazing place. So in your community, is there a specific demographic or type of business that you intend to work with on the get-go?
So currently, I am definitely seeking female business owners. Women supporting women is something that's very near and dear to my soul. As I graduated from the Cincinnati Chamber We Lead, which is Women Excel and Lead, and really giving back to the women within our community to help them realize we can do this and we can do this together and empower one another and lift one another up is super empowering to me, but also to those businesses to see them thrive and really become the next big thing in our area. Definitely about 10 employees or 5 years within business, because within that realm, you start to be able to hand off or delegate. And so you can start to really work on the business and not be just entrenched into the business, because we got to have that commitment to think forward and really think about some efficiencies. So as we start to really achieve those goals.
That's awesome. I think there is obviously a lot of information out there in the world right now, within the click of a button. But in how Action Coach allows us to provide practical, step-by-step knowledge and assistance to help any sort of business grow and achieve their goals is amazing. So I think the women in your community will be very lucky to have you there, Jen. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Finally, do you have any like a favorite saying or a quote that you want to share with us?
Ooh, that's a good one. So I believe a lot in balance. So when you're a business owner, and anyone, honestly, you need to make sure that you're constantly balanced, not just professionally, but personally too. I am a wife of 2 children, and I'm so super happy about that. But having that balance in order to give back is super important to me. So is there a quote? There's many quotes out there. Abraham Lincoln has many that are just fabulous. But one right off the cuff to actually quote, I don't have one really like posted on my bulletin board at this time, because there's so many, and there are so many wise people. Of course, I love Brad Sugars coming out and saying every human needs a coach, which is entirely true, whether it's even a life coach, a golfing coach, or a business coach. We all need that guidance or mentorship. And a lot of times we find it within our circles of just friends. And sometimes having that outside perspective is extremely important, because we as business coaches will give you the truth, because yes, we love to be nice, but nothing inside me cares enough in order to give you the God's honest truth.
Yes, we were just talking about that acronym earlier. Give the honest feedback. And that's people closest to you would really cherish that, and hopefully people who are open to growth should also cherish that as well. Awesome. Thanks, Jen.
Of course. So, Diraj, in regards to you being there in Melbourne, tell us a little bit about you personally and some of the things that you enjoy to do, and maybe some of the things you do in your free time.
Okay, so as you said, I'm in Melbourne. I'm just trying to gather my thoughts a little bit here. So I love to ride motorbikes. I think extreme sports. I love to sort of push myself outside of my comfort zone. Well, actually, that's easier said than done. But I love to learn, love to keep sort of adding value to the community to see how I can help the people around me. But I love to ride my motorbike in my spare time. I have a recreational pilot's license, so hope to get back up in the air fairly soon. So I'm an engineer by profession, and that's sort of led me through to, I guess, how do I make people's lives easier? Look, long story short, put me on the spot there. I should have thought about this a bit better. But essentially, I've got 2 dogs, 2 Siberian Huskies, which I love. They're always so positive and giving me positive vibes to help me lift. And I'm getting married later on this year, which is awesome.
That is. And the lucky bride's name?
She's her name's Tara.
Yes. So at some point we'll have to definitely bring her on, as well as Matt, because I'm sure that would be quite entertaining and people would love to hear that piece.
Hey, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yeah. Because they both have no choice, but they'll be sort of going on this journey with us as we, become coaches and help others grow.
Yeah, so that's actually a great segue into, so when you started to explore another venture, What did Tara think about you going into Action Coach?
She was so supportive. She was like, this is because even before joining Action Coach, I was somewhat coaching other businesses, and it just came naturally to me. Whether it was invited or not, I don't know. I think there was a couple of times where I got the sense, all right, Diraj, stop talking. I got the hint. This is what I got to do. But it just comes naturally to me because I'm so passionate about it. So, so she was 1,000% supportive. Yeah. So it's cool.
So what other businesses do you still continue to own at this time?
Yeah, so I do a property development business. So we develop property here in Australia and New Zealand. So we try and provide as many houses as possible, affordable housing. Because as we all know, the real estate market everywhere has just gone through the roof. So younger generations are finding it harder and harder to get into their own home. You know, the Australian dream of having their own house is getting further and further away for the younger generations. So that's my other business there, which I'm still quite passionate about, and we have a long way to go. And an engineering consultancy, which I have a little bit of involvement with, but I try not to get too involved there. But so that's my other two.
That's awesome. Because you continue to give back in so many ways. It really shows how big your heart is and how much you really want to see the community not only succeed, but grow too.
Yeah. I think I told you when we were in Vegas, my philosophy in engineering was, you got to have your why in anything you do. And in engineering, it was, how do I make lives easier for people? And that's been my philosophy in anything like that I do. So sometimes I find it harder to let go of things, but that's on me. I need to work on that. And
So one of the things I look forward to, even learning from you, is really that wealth building. I know that we've talked about real estate and the great benefits that it's provided for you in your area, and really exploring that even more. Because as a finance and accounting person, I'm not exactly very risk adverse. And so I'm always, kind of standing on the back, on those sidelines and evaluating, does this really make sense? Where Action Coach was a huge step for me, but given the systems and processes that they have in place and really simplifying the whole business process was just a no-brainer. And the amount of marketing and systems that are provided would probably take you 10 years to actually create. So it became a no-brainer to really go through this venture.
Yeah. So, no, I think you touched on a really good point there. There's risk in anything that we do, even crossing a road. Right. But then it's how you manage. Well, it's having that awareness of that risk, and how do you mitigate that risk before you cross that road? For example, right? So, I had a one-on-one yesterday with an amazing person who runs a branding company, has done some amazing work for some amazing clients of his. But he's so good at doing what he does. His biggest problem was having consistent work. Right? So business should be an asset. Time is the most valuable asset, that's one of my favorite sayings actually. And we never get today tomorrow. Right? So he has a young family. And my goal with him is to buy back his time, build his business into an asset so it works for him, then create his long-term wealth through real estate. Because having cash in the bank isn't what it used to be 50 years ago. Like the governments are usually printing. Well, in the States, I think it's a lot worse than down here in Australia, but it's it's not great. They're literally printing hundreds of millions, if not trillions, every day. So having savings, that's sort of in the past. You need to make your capital work for you, so you're not working for it.
Yep.
But we'll definitely keep touching on that wealth building portion as well. As you can see, I'm quite passionate about that. So then people can go and enjoy life.
Absolutely.
Not be chasing the dollars, right?
Right. And as people are probably realizing, having these relationships, even though we're business coaches, do we have every single answer? No. But we get to rely on over 1,800 other business coaches to help us through and to get us the right answer. And we get to really leverage that community and come up with, well, what's the right risk mitigation possible to get us to where we really want to be. And that within itself is so super powerful. I can't even saying it, I feel doesn't do it any justice, because the words just don't, it's phenomenal.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like the amount of support and the network that we have that we can tap into, because everyone's journey is different.
Yep.
Not one person has the same journey as the one next to them. So the ability to tap into our wealth of knowledge and network to then tailor a solution to an individual client is awesome.
So I know we touched on it earlier with me, but Diraj, what would be your target market, or what are you actually looking toward for your future prospects?
Yeah. So like the one-on-one, the client that I had yesterday, or prospect I should say, it's someone who's really passionate about what they do, have a goal or a vision, but know that they're not there or aren't sure of how to get there. Right. I'm also passionate about helping young entrepreneurs who have an idea, who have a goal in life, but don't know how to get there. I'd love to work with them as well. Right. But yeah, so small businesses that sort of 1 to 5 employees, 500K revenue. But keen to sort of help work with anyone really.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. I greatly appreciate it. I can't wait to do more of these. So we'll have to figure out our own series so that then it's topics and bouncing that from business coach to business coach and see how this evolves.
We need a name, Jen.
Do we use,
well, given that you're in the States and I'm in Australia, we did have a name during training, UN of A.
We did, yes. We could even probably call on some of them and have them be guests from time to time.
100%.
Or even other action coaches. That would be a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
And as we continue to evolve, some of our clients would probably love to be guests on this too. So I look forward to it. So
love it. Cool.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. I know it's bright and early there on a Friday, so I can only imagine how you're getting ready to close out for the weekend. Here it's Thursday evening, so I'm not quite in the home stretch, but I'm getting close. So, and it's a holiday weekend too for the U.S.
Okay.
So
awesome.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Jen.